Hey book lovers, welcome or welcome back to my channel. We're basically in the summer season, so I thought now would be the perfect time to tell you guys about some of my favorite books that I think are perfect to read in the summertime, and also to tell you guys about some of the books that I want to read this summer. The first two books that I want to recommend are by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and they are Malibu Rising and Daisy Jones and the Six. I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid writes the best books for summer, like really any of her books you could read in the summertime in my personal opinion. But these two are like the best that I've read by her that I think are perfect for summer. So Daisy Jones and the Six is about this band in like the 60s and how they came up from literally being not nobodies, but you know, like average human beings to being this like worldwide known band. And it's told in an interview style format. It goes by so fast. I feel like summer books, you want them to be quick and just bingeable, and this is exactly what that is. And then we have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one's set in the 80s and it basically follows the Rivera family. Every summer, at the end of the summer, they do a big summer party and they invite all these different people. The book is told in third person, so you're getting the point of view of a bunch of different people. You're getting the point of view of Nina, who's like basically the main character and the older sister of all her siblings, and then you get her siblings' point of views, you get random party goers' point of views, and it kind of goes into the past as well to tell this family's story. Such a fun read and also a really quick book. Next book that I have is The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. This is about a girl and she feels like her life is all over the place. She doesn't have her dream job, she doesn't have her dream place, like she just wants to get her life together. And she's trying to, but now her sister's getting married and she doesn't have a date to the wedding and she needs help finding one. Like she doesn't know how to find one, and her next door neighbor comes in to help. So this is what that's about without spoiling it. It's a really cute black romance love story set in the summertime of New York, which I think is such a fun read. I had a really good time reading this book. Next, I have a book that I've recommended so many times. This will probably be in every single recommendation video that I ever do because I think this book is perfect for any season, and that is 11 Other Words by Christina Lauren. This book is, it has my heart. I love this book. I don't care what anybody says, I love it. I still love it. I need to reread it, but I know that I would still love it if I reread it. But it's basically about this girl, and she spent every single summer, any holiday that she got, any break off of school, her and her family spent at this cabin. Next door neighbors had a son and they became best friends. They were really close, and every summer, every holiday, like I said, they spent together. And then they randomly just kind of stopped talking, and 10 years later she runs into him again, and it's like, oh, what the heck? And so we find out like why they stopped talking, what happened, while also getting the story of like their past, which I think is really sweet. But yeah, it's really cute. I love it. It's cozy. You can literally read this in any season: fall, winter, spring, summer, whatever. You can read it. Also by Christina Lauren is The Unhoneymooners. This book was so fun. I know a lot of people don't like this book, but I personally enjoyed it. This one is about a girl and she's a twin sister, and she basically gets a chance to go on a honeymoon vacation type vibe, but she has to go with somebody that she cannot stand. And yeah, that's what this book is about. The next book that I have to recommend is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This is another book where it's like very similar, honestly, to Love and Other Words, to like, it's like really similar. But basically, this girl spends every single summer at this lake house, and the family next door has two sons, and she hangs out with them. They become really close. They're like besties. And then she randomly just like leaves and she never comes back, and nobody knows like why, what happened. Well, like people know, but like we don't talk about it basically. But we don't know. The readers don't know what happened or why she's not coming back. So we're basically finding out what happened between her and her bestie. That's pretty much the story. I honestly did enjoy this book. The ending just made me like, but I did enjoy my time reading it, so I would recommend it. Next, I have the second book in the Maple Hill series, which is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This one is, the series is like a hockey romance series, but this one's not that because it's set in the summertime and they're at a summer camp. Basically, the two main characters have an encounter, and then they get to the camp and they don't realize that they're both working the camp until they get there, and they're like, what the heck? And so they have to spend the whole summer together, working together, and there's a lot of tensions in the air. But I had a fun time reading this one. I thought this was a good, cute little read. Next, I have the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silvers. It's like a cowboy romance. I feel like cowboys, anytime I think of cowboys, I think of summer. So it's a perfect time to read her series. But it's basically a cowboy romance, and it's really cute. They're really fast paced and they're just adorable. Okay, so the first one is Flawless, and then you have Heartless, and then you have Powerless. I don't have the last two in the series. I haven't read them yet, but I read these three. Flawless follows Rhett and Summer, and basically Rhett's a bull rider, and Summer is basically trying to get him on track because he has a bad reputation, and she's trying to get him back on the right foot. And then Heartless is about Cade, which is Rhett's brother, and Willa, which is Summer's best friend. Cade has a son, he needs somebody to watch him, and Willa ends up being his nanny. And then Powerless is about Jasper and Sloane. Jasper's a hockey player, Sloane's a ballerina, and they were always childhood best friends. I think the summertime is the perfect time to read or start the Chestnut Spring series because, again, cowboys, summer, perfect vibe if I'm gonna say so. I don't know, just saying. And now I'm gonna recommend Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Now this is the third book in the Part of Your World trilogy, so you do have to read Part of Your World and Yours Truly prior to reading this book. But if you haven't read this book yet, of course, it's the perfect time to read it because the title says Just for the Summer. I love this book so much. It's really cute. It's basically about Emma and Justin, and they both have this experience where they feel like every time they date somebody, after they break up, that person finds love, and so they feel like they're just cursed in love. And Justin makes a Reddit post about it. Emma sees it and she's just like, oh my gosh, me too. And then they connect and it goes from there. All of Abby Jimenez's books are fast-paced and fun, and they also have an emotional depth to them. So this is a beautiful, beautiful summer read. Last and certainly not least, for my summer book recs, I have to recommend Emily Henry. These are the 4 books by her that I have read. I haven't read, I think 2 or 3. I think 2. I think it's Funny Story and Great Big Beautiful Life, but there might be one more, I don't know. But these are the ones I have read, and they're all perfect for summer. We have Happy Place, Book Lovers, Beach Read, and People We Meet on Vacation. I love these books so much. People We Meet on Vacation is about Alex and Poppy, and they're 2 best friends who always go on vacation together, but they stopped for a couple years and we don't know why, so we're kind of figuring out, you know, what's going on with that. Then we have Beach Read. This is about Augustus and January, and they're both Bible authors. And they basically write like about 2 different things, and they have different endings in their books. They're just complete opposites, and they end up being stuck being next door neighbors for the summer. Then we have Book Lovers. This is about Nora and Charlie. Nora goes on a summer retreat with her sister. At the retreat, she keeps running into Charlie, and she doesn't like Charlie because they had an encounter previously, a work encounter, and it didn't go well, so she doesn't like him, but she keeps running into him. And my favorite Emily Henry book that I've read so far is Happy Place. This is about Harriet and Wynn. They broke up a couple months ago, but nobody knows, so they end up going on the trip with all their friends, and they have to pretend that they're still together. I love. It was amazing. I love. But yeah, all Emily Henry books, I think these are all perfect for the summertime. They're quick, they're fast, they have banter, they have humor. Like, you're gonna have a good time, but you're also gonna probably shed a couple tears when you read her books. Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about the books that I personally want to read this summer. If I don't get to some of these, it's gonna be okay. I can read them next summer, but I hope I get to majority of these books. So I want to state again that y'all know I go into books blind, so for most of these I'm not gonna know what the book is about. I just saw it, I either like the cover or I read a little bit about it and I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting, I don't want to read anymore. Like, I like to be pretty blind when I go into books, so I'm not gonna have much of a synopsis on these books, but hopefully you guys can find some that you like and go from there. So the first book I have is Between Friends and Lovers. I actually bought this book a while ago and I started it. I just never finished it because I wasn't in the mood for it. But I feel like I could be in the mood for it this summer. Like, the book kind of gives summer. The vibes give summer. I want to say it's about this girl and she has a crush on her guy best friend, but he doesn't really care, or he doesn't know. I don't know. Maybe he's oblivious. And then I think she meets this guy and maybe they become lovers. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this summer we'll see. The next book I actually want to start today, and that is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. It's about Charlie from Every Summer After. He gets a story, so this is his story. And the cover is just really beautiful. It gives summer. It gives summer. They're the only 2 books that I want to read that I own. So now I'm going to tell you guys about some of the books that I don't own but I do want to read, or at least try to get to this summer. I have Unexpectedly Yours. This book, I believe, is like a forbidden love between 2 rival families. I don't know, it's giving a little bit of Romeo and Juliet. The cover is really cute, so I want to try it out and hopefully I like it. Then I have No Ordinary Love by Maya Ariel. This book actually came out this year and it's on my want to read list, so I'm hoping I get to it. But if I don't get to it this summer, there's always fall, there's always spring. I feel like I will read it. But it's a PR relationship, so a fake dating kind of vibe between an R&B singer and I don't think it's a basketball player. I believe he's just an athlete. I don't know what type of athlete, but I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Then we have Open Water. I honestly don't even know if this is considered a summer book. I just saw water and was like, oh, summer. This is a book about two Black artists and a love story. That's what I know. Two Black artists and a love story. So I was like, ooh. I know this book has won a couple awards, so I feel like that tells me that it's going to be a good read, you know? Literary fiction. If I'm feeling something more literary, I feel like I will go down for this vibe. If I want something a little bit more fantasy vibes, I have The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. Couldn't tell you what it's about. I just know pirates. The cover has like water and a ship, so I feel like it's a fantasy that has to do with pirates. Hopefully there's some swimming in it, so it gives me some more summer vibes. But I feel like if I want to read something that's more fantasy but I still want to get summer energy, this would be the one for me. Then I have Summer on the Bluffs by Sunny Hostin. This book, again, I don't know what it's about, but the cover looks cute and it says summer, so it's summer vibes, and I want to say it has generations of families, so you're kind of maybe getting different points of views from each generation of women in the family or whoever. I don't know. I'm down to read it. And lastly, I have Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. This book I really want to read because I just read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret again, and I want to see how her writing style is with an adult novel versus a children's novel. So yeah, I'm excited to read that one. So that's it for this video. Those are all the books that I think would be great to read in the summertime, and also the books that I personally would like to read this summer. I hope you guys found some books that you could add to your summer TBR, and if you've read any of the books that I have on my want to read list, let me know how you felt about them in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!